This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined here on Zoom with the always chauffeur-driven Frank Smith at the minute, it seems. I told you, and you're going to hit back and say, you're arrogant, you're late, but I messaged you before. I said, I knew you were in the car, might push it 5 or 10 minutes back. I wanted to start the morning strong with a little run, shout out, wow, hydrate with the electrolytes, and that is what I did.
So you were late for this interview because you were out for a run, yeah?
I wasn't late. I just was I used the 5 minutes that I'd pre-negotiated.
No, you asked me. You said, please be ready for me at 11:30. I have a busy day, Frank. I said, okay, no worries. And then you went, oh, I'm late. I've got to go for a run. It's not even like it was anything really important. But anyway, we learned to understand your sort of ego getting out of control, and I accept it. Like, I'm proud to know you, so I'm used to. I'm not surprised.
I'm just proud you're proud to know me. I suppose go straight into it. Are you currently off to the airport? I know you're going to Mexico. Is that now? Do you have a day of errands to run first? What's the crack?
I've got some meetings in London now with DAZN and a few other partners. Then I'm heading to Heathrow. I'm heading to LA, getting a car to Tijuana. Then I'm going to Miami. Then I'm going to Orlando. And then I'm going to Asia for a bit. So busy few weeks, mate.
You're going to Miami before Orlando?
Yeah, I just sort a few days in Miami, get a suntan. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Of course you are. Imagine my shock. Let's talk about the Mexico show this Friday, I believe it is, expanding with territories, providing sort of these good markets. We know that sort of Skye Nicholson's got her opportunity as well. So there's still an option for extra territories to get involved and watch. Excited to do another show in Mexico? As I hear, it's always pretty raucous there.
Yeah, look, Tijuana is unbelievable. We've done many shows in Tijuana. So excited to get out there. Angel Fierro, obviously highly ranked. He's got his opportunity now and not far off from challenging for a world title. Looking forward to seeing him back out. He's always a big finisher. Skye Nicolson, as you say, not far off from challenging for a world title as well. She's back out on the card on Friday. Erica Cruz also on the card. So look, another great show. We've got also announced another brilliant Mexico show in Cancun in 5 or 6 weeks' time, with Ashaki Foster taking on Rocky Hernandez. Got Justice Hooney and Andrew Tabiti. So look, these Mexican cards for us, they're getting bigger and bigger, and it's great to keep active with great nights.
Let's go with the immediate one after that in Orlando. A great card: Hitchins, Zepeda, McCaskill, Ryan, and the return of Conor Benn. That is all confirmed now. We just don't know the opponent. Are you able to give us some ideas? We know that Ivan Redkach came out and said something that is being offered at £150. Is that the weight Conor will fight at? Who are we looking at opponent-wise?
Yeah, well, look, firstly, the card, great card in Orlando, Richardson Hitchins, as you say. He's in a great position, obviously taking on a tough challenge in Zepeda. So that's, he's got a big future ahead of him. We're excited by what we're going to do with him. Jessica McCaskill, Sandy Ryan on that card as well. That's a big fight, and the winner of that goes on to some major fights, probably in 2024. Ammo Williams back out as well. And then, yeah, hopefully, still some work to be done, but hopefully Conor Benn out on that show. A few bits still going through. Can't give you any word on opponents, Parsons, because it's not confirmed. But hopeful we get it done. It'll be a big story getting him out. He's been out the ring for near on 18 months. So, yeah, hopefully the next 24 hours or so, we get that over the line.
Sticking to that topic then, where are we at? We know that the sort of UCAD suspension was lifted, then it was appealed at the final minute. When I spoke to Eddie, he said this doesn't seem to be a long process. I think the time that he gave me was 6 to 8 weeks. That was expected. You never really know. But how is this process unfolding, and when do we think that we'll have word?
Yes, look, it's ongoing, the process in the background, the appeal process. But look, he's got no current suspension. The UCAD suspension was lifted when he won that case. The appeal is that sort of time frame, 6 to 8 weeks. So hopefully mid to end of October that will be settled. But the key focus is to get Conor Benn active. Like I say, he's been out of the ring 18 months. He's been through a range of processes that people have asked him to go through. And the key is getting fighting again. He's clear, he's cleared to box.
Where where are you at with sort of negotiating with the Sauerland and Team Eubank regarding potentially a fight on December 9 or one of those December dates?
Yeah, look, we've had conversations with the Sauerlands. Obviously, we still need some clarity around locations and this appeal process and a few more details. But conversations are good. Look, being honest, it's the biggest fight out there for both of them. Yeah, look, it's the biggest fight out there. It's the biggest fight to be made. And I'm very confident when it comes down to it that it's a fight both guys want. So, yeah, I think we can get it done. But still, as always, work to be done. And as soon as there's news, people will know.
I will just apologise to the viewers if it goes a little bit intermittent with cuts out. We understand that Frank is a busy man and the Wi-Fi is not always Wi-Fiing from the car. I suppose just lastly on that topic, with the sort of appeal process and stuff, does that limit the negotiations and the talking stages at the minute? Do you sort of need that process to be done before you can get serious about making it?
No, I think that the conversations can run in parallel. We're very confident in Conor's position. So I think there's nothing stopping those conversations running, and we'll be in a position to lock the fight in as soon as possible.
Have you had any response on this Azim Dalton Smith fight?
No. It's a shame. Look, it would be good to get some feedback. I think it's a great opportunity. It's a fight that they've spoken about on many occasions. It was quite openly touted that they were trying to talk to Dalton Smith, and that was their focus to make that fight as part of a deal with Dalton Smith. So, I definitely believe it's a fight Azim would want. There's been a lot of talk about it on the internet, but no feedback at all from them. So let's see what happens. That they're obviously they want to work with other people. They're open to working with other people, as they say. So at least some feedback of either saying no, not right now, would be good. But let's see.
So absolutely no word at all. I take it that some sort of communication has gone through to the team, maybe not necessarily Ben Shalom directly, but from the Boxxer team, you can confirm absolutely nothing with regards to that fight.
No, Ben Shalom had the email as well, unless I sent it to the wrong Ben Shalom account. Ben Shalom had the email, as did John Wishoes and Al Siesta, all the people. So let's see. I'm hopeful we get some kind of response, good or bad. It'd be good to at least keep some dialogue open. We all say things, but at the same time, we want to make the best fights possible. So let's hope they're up for that too.
Frank, on to the heavyweights. I suppose I'm going to kill a couple birds with one stone here. We know that sort of this Hrgovic situation is unfolding. We're awaiting something to be mandated. At the same time, the appeal process has now been lodged with the WBA for Usyk Dubois. What do you expect to happen with that, first of all? Anything?
No, look, on the WBA process, I don't believe so. At the end of the day, and we can all have our opinions of what we think. The ref deemed it to be a low blow, so the referee of the fight deemed it to be a low blow. He made a decision, and I think there's a number of people in the sport. There's people who say one thing. There's people who say another opinion on the matter. But what it comes down to is the referee made a decision, and I think that decision will stand. Look, I think the reality is with Daniel Dubois is he wasn't experienced, and this is nothing against him. He's 25 years old, but he didn't do enough in the fight to. I think it would be better off for him to go and get other fights now. He's got a long future still in the sport at 25 years old. I think he'll be better off gaining experience in other fights and then, come back. He's going to have other opportunities to fight for a world title. But in my opinion, there's going to be no change there. In terms of the IBF, look, the IBF, Filip and we've been very patient over the last year and a half to whatever the period was. And understood the procedures that people are going through. Obviously, WBA mandatory came first, but we feel it's only right that Filip gets his opportunity now. There's no Tyson Fury is openly talking about fighting other UFC fighters or MMA fighters, not even talking about the Usyk fight. And I don't think it's fair on Filip Hrgovic that it gets held up anymore. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm very confident that the IBF will make the fair and right decision to give Filip the opportunity to challenge for the world titles.
What did you make of the Fury and Ngannou press conference and shenanigans surrounding the launch?
Entertaining as always. That's what Tyson Fury does. Look, I will say again, I've said it multiple times. It's going to be a huge event. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on it. Tyson Fury is what he is. He's an entertainer. I'm sure I saw a lot of people disappointed about the David Adeleye, Fabio Wardley stuff. I think the most disappointing thing with that is not even the fighters; it's other people who cause the damage. But yeah, look, it's going to be an entertaining build-up over the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'm sure, and be a massive fight when it comes around.
Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Now, there's sort of a lot of talks about this fight maybe now not being in Saudi Arabia, certainly not this year. We know that Turkey is the person who's come in, and he is sort of organising Fury and Ngannou, and sort of, would it be right to say that Joshua Wilder isn't the forefront of their plans anymore out in Saudi?
Look, we had discussions for a long time with Skill Challenge, obviously, who we had a relationship with. And I think right now it's looking unlikely that those conversations with them will sort of continue to make that fight.
Quickly picking back up on the Joshua Wilder front. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. No, look, I still believe that all parties want to make that fight in terms of Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. At the same time, we've had discussions with it for a while around the fight in Saudi with Skill Challenge. I don't think those discussions are going to go further right now in terms of those Skill Challenge discussions. I think, obviously, as you mentioned, the GEA, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and the General Entertainment Authority are looking to work more in boxing. But we have to now work to focus on getting Anthony Joshua busy, keeping that momentum going, and hopefully we'll have some news soon.
Could you see yourself working with them and this sort of new sector with Turkey to make a fight like that?
Yeah, look, I definitely think there's opportunity to make fights happen. I'm sure it will be great to have conversations. And they're doing amazing things, not just in boxing, but entertainment. They've been involved in football for a long time, bringing huge events out to Saudi in football. So let's see. We're obviously always open to all discussions. So we'll see how things happen. Obviously, we've had a great relationship as well with Prince Khalid over the years. We've delivered some historic events together. And look, we'd love to return to Saudi, and but at the same time, we have to keep Anthony active, and that's going to be the focus for us.
Are you disappointed, and can you understand the fans' disappointment? The sort of apple's been dangled so many times for this fight. We get so excited. We're not saying it's completely out the window, but we won't be looking at the same purses if a fight like that goes to sort of your Vegas, your New Yorks, your Londons. You disappointed? Can you understand fans' disappointment?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we've also been the ones that have been working on it for 4 or 5 months. So I understand from fans' perspectives. Look, our focus is to make the biggest fights possible, and we'll continue to work our hardest to do that. I'm not saying the fight's not going to happen. I'm saying we have to look at a different approach, and we'll see how things happen. We'll see how things go. Look, it's a massive fight, even whether it was in the US, UK. The numbers have to make sense for the fighters. So we'll see how the next few weeks go. But rest assured, we're working our hardest behind the scenes. Because it's the kind of fight we want to see as well.
Frank, where is AJ at with this? Obviously, I know a lot of time, and sort of even pre-Hellenius, there was so much talk about just waiting and going straight into Wilder. How is AJ? We know that he wants activity. His team want activity. What sort of opponents could you be looking at for a December showdown?
Yeah, look, he's ready to go. He wants to get back in the ring. It was even after the Hellenius fight, he said he wanted to be back in December. I think we're looking at December time, January for an Anthony Joshua return. We're also looking at other opportunities, other sites as well that could be possible for him. And going through the list of potential fights right now with him. There's meetings ongoing with his team currently to select, certain opponents that would work. So let's see.
Frank, just sort of lastly for me on the schedule, we're seeing this Newcastle November 11 show is being teased at again. We know that your previous plans were sort of squashed as of what happened on that Birmingham Next Gen. What are the current plans for a Newcastle headliner?
Yeah, there's still a chance that show may get replaced with something else, but we are working through it now. Obviously, there's been talk about whether Pat McCormack fights Troy Williamson. Maybe we're looking into whether that's a potential. I don't think Cyrus Patterson is going to be ready for the Walker rematch on November 11th. Obviously, it was a heavy duty fight, that fight. So I think it's unlikely he'll be ready, but we are still working on opportunities. There is a chance, though. I saw where these comments are coming from in an interview Eddie did. That was on Friday, I think. There is a chance, though, we look at doing something else elsewhere. But I'm hoping news soon on that, and news on some other sort of November, December shows we're working on too.
You mentioned Troy Williamson, Kevin Agyarko, is a name who's been thrown about with Troy. Is that a fight that you look at making?
Yeah, we looked at it. I don't think it's a fight that's going to happen, though. Just being honest, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. There's a lot of opportunities going around there. Troy, I think, is a great challenge for a number of these guys. So let's see what happens.
San Francisco, DAZN pay-per-view, Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. Is this correct? And DAZN pay-per-view had one that had a few fans sort of questioning.
Look, there's work still ongoing with that one. It's not announced yet. That is a date in terms of pay-per-view again. Look, I think when you look at Devin Haney on pay-per-view, other on pay-per-view, as we've always said, to be in the discussion for these fights, we have to obviously look at how other people are making offers to make these fights happen. And in terms of financially, that would require pay-per-view, the investment from pay-per-view. So, but let's see. No news yet. It's not announced yet. As with a lot of these things, you said Conor Benn's confirmed. That's not announced. You said about November 11th. That's not done or announced. So, you seem to know more than me, Parsons. I must be out of the picture.
No, that is it. I needed to close the interview off. It's gonna be an absolute ball ache to edit because the Wi-Fi wasn't Wi-Fi. I got a couple of James Bond-esque segments where it started lagging and you were playing with your hair. But I'll let you get on with your Tuesday, Frank. Enjoy your business or first class flight to LA, and I'll see you next week in Orlando at the resort for Sun interviews and world title action.
I shall see you there, old boy Parsons. Enjoy your week in the UK. Keep running. Don't be late. Stay humble.